Before we talk about the foundation, I want you to talk about Bill and his legacy, especially when it comes to the businesses he ran in downtown Fort Smith, and just how so wrapped up he was in promoting downtown. Talk about him for just a second.
There's three children in our family, and my brother Bill was just my mom and dad's pride and joy. We're all hard workers, but my brother, he stemmed off away from a family business and began his own. He even actually started out with the old Coney Island on Garrison Avenue, then turned it into the Neumeier Rib Room and the beer garden. He brought in his absolutely passionate about music, and brought in famous people and wonderful local bands and promoted local bands, and then people that he just knew needed a start and gave them their start. And so the Neumeier Rib Room was really popular. Then he actually had bought used to be Angelo's,
Mhm.
and then he bought the bar, turned it into Papa's Pub and Pizzeria. So there he went again. He's no different than my parents, who started a business. They ran a business for 54 years. And so all three of us growing up in a business learned to work, work, work. And my brother, he was no different. He worked, and had a passion for what he did. But in doing these businesses and becoming part of so many things downtown, like with he was part of the startup for the blues festivals in Fort Smith. Anything he could do to bring in local music, and again promoting downtown. He wanted to be downtown when he was a teenager. I mean, I remember mom and dad just, oh Billy, and he wanted to be downtown, never wanted to not be. But when I did when I lost my brother, I was really worried about what everyone would say, and what was going to happen, and how people would feel about it. But it was actually the priest that was at the mass at the funeral. Um, he made a the way he spoke about it kind of always stuck in my head. And he talked about as if Billy were in a burning building. And it's just, and I picture this because of watching all of the business talks and all of the talks of helping friends and different things he went through. The priest said the perfect thing. It was about it being in a burning building, and no matter, he's running, and there was no getting out. There was no getting out other than just to jump. And it affected my whole family. We're a very, very close family, and we were just broken. And it affected my mother's health. Uh, what happens when someone in your family does commit suicide? Um, it's hard on everyone. And watching what happened with my family, and like I said, my parents were so proud of my brother, and we all joke about he's the favorite child, and we're good with it. He was the favorite child. We all love Bill. But I knew I wanted to do something. I don't know how, I don't know what, and I just knew I wanted to do something. But I have to say, this starting a nonprofit foundation, was much harder than I thought. I lost my brother November 19 in 2018. I will never forget. Um, but it took until November of 2020 till I could, get everything legal.
When something bad happens, it seems like there's always something something good that comes out of it. With this foundation, now that you've got it started and it's been up for a couple of years or been running for a couple of years, what do you hope to do with it? What are your goals with this foundation?
Well, like my brother, who was always doing something for someone else, always doing something for someone else. That was my goal for this, that it'll help other people. Again, it's hard to get started. So, especially during COVID and everything. So, getting getting fundraisers or different things. We have an account started. Uh, we've started raising money. We've got it going.
Mm.
And so the next thing is I would like to start dispersing money, different funds out to foundations that need help. Anything they can do that will not let this happen to another family, not let someone feel like there's no other choice but to jump out that window, in that burning building, of that analogy that he gave. Um, I know that seems kind of funny with funds. What can we do? But I had read so many different ways of there's, different police officers that were donating their time of answering telephones, or someone that would just go physically and do the help. Whatever they need in funds that can help them do this to help someone not make that choice, that's what we want to do. We want the funds built up where we can write a check. Now, to do so, and learning about a nonprofit, um, the way it's set up with our board, they have to be able to write a letter to our foundation and tell us what they would be using the money for. And then our board meets and we can disperse this money. We're ready now. We've got a little bit saved up, and I would love to start writing a check now and be doing what we can to help people.
Do you think the awareness of mental issues and the suicide rate, do you think that awareness has become, for a lack of a better term, more natural, more open than it used to be?
Yes, I think that there's more awareness, but I also think that it's sometimes when something happens, um, I don't know how to put this, when someone famous, especially when someone famous has made that choice and commits suicide, I think it makes things, oh, it's okay. It's okay, I make that decision. And there needs to be someone saying it's not okay. There's another way out. There's something we can do. Because after you make that choice, there's no going back. Every month my parents would say, "Oh, if Bill could have just waited. Oh, if Bill would have done this. Oh, if he could have seen this." Well, once you make that choice, there's just no going back. And so if these foundations, the people that can help them, can get this information out, or can be at that door, be at that phone call, we can make it stop. And so whatever we can do. And I have to say, it's so sweet of you to ask me to do this, because we're in the holidays. And it sounds so awful to say, the holidays are the hardest time to get through. And so if there's something we can do, we need to.
The foundation itself, how do people find out more about this and maybe want to help out?
Yes, there is a Facebook page. It's just the Bill Neumeier Foundation for Suicide Awareness. You can go to the website, which is just www.BillNeumeier Foundation for Suicide Awareness. There's the little QR code. Lots of people have used that and done that. There's also even a mailing address. It's 11967 to Fort Smith, Arkansas, with zip code 72917. And ironically, I hope no one ever follows me to the post office, because I open that up and find someone's donated, and it's huge. And so it's always gets right to my heart.
And so it's been going for 2 years. This is something that you want to keep permanent and obviously want it to grow to help as many people as possible.
So financially, we need it to build up. I'm hoping to do some, like I said, some real fundraisers. So far, most of these have just been nice private little donations that people have made, and so kind of them. But yes, we'd like to do dinners. I'd love to do something that involves live music, and that definitely would be right down my brother's alley. And so we need to
say some of, I was going to say some of the bands that he helped get started. How cool would that be to come back and help out?
That would be wonderful. So if we can have some live music and people would just help us, we could build this. We will They'll never forget him. So I know a lot of people in Fort Smith, no matter what, when I'm running around, they say, "Oh, your brother." And I just want to keep his memory always alive and for a good cause, so do a good thing. So that's my goal.
All right, Lisa, thank you so much. Best of luck with the foundation.
Well, thank you. Thank you.